Welcome, everyone, to Totally Whiskey and Wine. I'm your host, Jason, and with me, as always, is Zach here, our industry professional, and James, our intermediate. And today, we are going to be reviewing this Bardstown Bourbon Lore Collaboration Series bottle. What did we rate this? 87. Wow, this, I think, may be our highest rated. I'll have to look back through the numbers, but I think this might be our highest rated bottle. Yeah, definitely today, but I think even period, this might have beaten the Pappy.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll have to go back and look. But
Editor, put the comparison.
Yeah, put the comparison. Well, how do we rate all these? Well, we each blind taste these, and then we look at nose, mouthfeel, flavor, and finish. I'm having trouble today. Those four categories, and within those four categories, we each blind score them up to 25 points, add our points together to get up to 100 in total, and then we add all three of our scores together and average it out to get our final score. So we gave this an 87, very, very high rating, but let's look at how we actually came across those numbers. So we're going to start with the nose. So, James, why don't you start us off with the nose?
I was proud of myself on this one. It's very, very hardwoods forward. You get a lot of like hardwood kind of stuff, not barrel wood, just like woods, trees, outdoor woods. Not so much pine or like pine sappy, just like hardwood, like the smell of hardwood cutting down hard trees. Oak, I was trying to think of myself as an oak, as mahogany, in what directions. And first I wrote down light honey, but it's a light raw honey. It's that raw honey, like the smell of raw honey. So it's just that nice sweet comes across on the nose. So for me, 23.
Nice. Very nice. Nice. Zach, why don't you hit us with your knowledge? Let's hear it. What did you give it?
So I went ahead and give it an 18. Spoiler, this is my lowest performing category for the particular whiskey. Try to be really fair on this, as much as I have favoritism towards Bardstown, and then this particular bottle, I hunted for it quite hard. Ended up getting gifted the item. But I got notes of cedar, orange peel, citrus, sage, and honey as well. Really does strike my fancy here. I like this bottle a lot, but I have to play fair here, and I don't think that this outperforms anything too drastically. It is very good, but not amazing.
I myself, I gave it a 22 for the nose. I really liked it, and I'm guessing what you're calling like raw honey and everything. I identified it as brown sugar and vanilla.
Yeah,
that's kind of how the words I could come up with.
I think they're in there too.
Yeah, but I liked it. I really enjoyed the nose on this. It's kind of sweet. It's
what whiskey should smell like to me. Like when you think of whiskey, like good whiskey, I think this is the right whiskey nose. It's not weird, craft whiskey or something. Yeah, it's written.
It is
good traditional.
Doesn't smell like blueberry.
No,
yeah, it's not blueberry. It doesn't smell.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's not peanut butter.
It doesn't smell like peanut butter.
Anyways, so let's move on to the next category, mouthfeel.
Ooh.
All right, so mouthfeel, I'll go ahead and start us off on this one. I gave for mouthfeel, again, a 22. Reason I gave it that is when I took my first sip, okay, I took a real tiny sip, and basically wherever it touched on my tongue, it seemed to just kind of give me that nice little bit of burn, almost like a spice, if you will, on my tongue. I took a little bit larger sip just to kind of feel it around, and I felt it on the tip, the sides, and in the back of my throat more than anything. And it was real nice. It wasn't like all encompassing, but it was very solidly there, and I really liked it. So that's why I gave it 22.
Good there.
So I also gave it a 22 for mouthfeel. Holistically, just fills the entire palate. A warm Kentucky hug, but it's not overbearing for the proof. It's 112.5, by the way. So it's not too hot, it's not too light. It sits just right in that range for me. And it doesn't drink too high, it doesn't drink too low. I mean, this is really doing everything I want for mouthfeel.
Yeah, I even went one above you guys for the mouth. I gave it a 23. So it was getting it when it was a high 23. It's good, smooth, full mouth coverage, small sip, big sip, light sip. You could hit taste buds all over the place. It sticks in your mouth really nice. Great coverage on the front. I felt the front was just really, really nice. That front peel on the front of my tongue gets all kinds of just really nice taste buds. So 23.
Nice.
Yeah. I could drink a bottle of this.
Oh yeah. And speaking of that orange peel and stuff, that does bring us to flavor. So for flavor, why don't you start us off again there,
So I
James?
gave this one a 22. There's a lot of things in there, but the main one I really got is I find that the flavor of the honey carries through into it. I taste honey, and I definitely taste like a little bit of that cough syrup cherry, kind of like a cough syrup cherry.
Okay.
That's what I gave it, and that was a 22 for me.
Nice.
So 22.
I also gave it a pretty high score, but this is actually the lowest score out of all the categories. For me, I gave it a 20. I thought, again, I mentioned spice. To me, it kind of a little bit peppery is what I kind of felt from it for flavor. Again, not, couldn't pick up the more subtle notes, but I liked that. It was pretty good. So a little bit lower than my other scores, but still really good.
Nashville in this. So
Yeah.
it'd be fairly high rye.
It
I
might
would
be.
guess it's probably 30% rye, my guess.
You'd have to do a lot of math, but there's a lot of rye, and then 14%. The actual Bardstown that was using this is 99% rye.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's like max rye.
yeah.
So there's a lot of rye.
I don't get rye.
There's also a lot of corn.
I don't get rye spice. I get more corn. I would have guessed this is like a 70 corn, 30 rye or somewhere in there,
Yep.
or something with a small amount of barley or something.
Someone who's better at math than me can figure out exactly what's in here. But as far as flavor, I gave it a 20.
Oh, okay. We matched up on that.
Yeah, matching up on that again. With notes of leather, just general herbal notes, citrus, and peach. Yeah, no, it's very good, very fruity whiskey, all things considered. But in addition to that, you get your typical bourbon notes. So this is just above average. Nothing too crazy in terms of flavor, but with everything else that's going on, very well done.
All right. So that brings us up to the finish. So for the finish, I'll go ahead and start off again if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
I really enjoyed this. I gave it a damn near perfect. I gave it 24. And I was even leaning towards 25 for this because I want to keep drinking this. Get
after.
I know.
Get after.
I
got one more sip.
Well, yeah, but I take my time. I had a long night last night. So, but I really like that. I give it 24. It just, that nice warm Kentucky hug, that nice fern, but not really a burn, just in my throat all the way. It stayed with me, and I keep going back. And I would probably take that bottle down myself over the course of an evening. Wouldn't like it in the morning, but All right.
So not that this is a race or anything, but I think I'm about to beat everybody here finishing it. I also gave it a 24. I wouldn't put this at 25. Like it earned its 24, but it's not a 25 for me. But just the general citrus notes tend to linger throughout my palate the whole time. I just get those whispers of just sweet fruits the whole time. And yeah, no, it just keeps calling to come back to the glass.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that is super easy to drink. It doesn't leave any harsh after effects.
Mm-hmm.
No lingering burn in the throat of any notoriety here. Just super easy drinking whiskey, and honestly, you can just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I gave it a 20, and I'm opposite of Zach here. I kind of want, like, when you have this really fantastic bottle, you want to remember it. So I want that, like, that one odd, really hit of something great that finishes, just sticks to your throat, something oily and thick that just stays in the back of your mouth. Or maybe that hug just is like just a plus one extra, a little extra.
That's what I felt about it.
Helps me remember that, hey, this isn't one of my other 150 bottles.
Yeah.
This is that I remember this hug. I remember this stick, this note that sticks to it.
Oh, yeah.
So it just didn't quite have that. So that's where I got 20. I just gave it, it's a light hug. It's a little bit empty kind of otherwise. So it's not a deep hug. I didn't find any huge note. They were all whispers.
Okay.
There wasn't any boom, like, oh my God, my mouth feels like I just swallow a bottle of cherries or whatever.
Right.
There's not one that, holy cow, I just ate raw honey. There's no huge, big finished flavor. When you're out of your mouth, it's just there.
Okay.
So I kind of like something that's a little bit more slam in your face.
Just a little bit.
Harsh, big. Go big and bold.
Yeah.
So, and I think probably with that, it would have overwhelmed some of the other whisks in there. Just fun to go there. It's not like Scottish peaty heavy. Like for me, peat just sticks to me super thick.
Yeah.
Days later, it's not going. That's like, can't forget it. I don't want that thick. But I do like.
You don't want to feel it for a while.
I sucked on this the stirrup of the saddle. I licked a little dirt, somewhere, and there's some wood shaving somehow got stuck in that thing. I got it in my mouth.
Okay.
That's why the heavy charge is like that little sometimes for me.
All right.
20.
Excellent. All right. So before we call this one close, Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about this bottle and some of the stuff you found out?
So this is part of the Bardstown collaborative series. So this is where a third-party company will approach Bardstown, very similar to like how a store will do a barrel pick, right? The Bourbon Lore Company is a set of private collectors who host premium experiences, dinners, tours, and they have one of the largest bourbon collections in the world. So they have a limited series where they're going through other distillers, like they've done Savage and Cook and Don Holiday in the past, and have done releases with them. Well, this is the Bardstown one, just released on the 15th. There's only 752 bottles, or 1752 bottles ever made. We have bottle number 938 for all those of you who are curious, and they source from all over the place. 50 or 54% of it's just general unnamed Kentucky whiskey, all of it being bourbon, just based on it being 10 years old, 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. 22% of it's from Green River, 7 years, 20% corn, 20% rye, 9% malted barley. 14% of it being 7-year-old Bardstown rye, 99% rye, 1% malted barley. And then 10% more general Kentucky source, 12-year bourbon, 78% corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley.
I'm standing behind my back up there. I get it.
70 corn,
I have a heavy corn, light rye, quality rye is what brings some of those really extra nice flavors.
That's where I'm getting that sage.
Yeah,
nice.
All that corn's bringing a lot of that.
None of those said barley, right?
There's malted barley.
There was a little bit of malted barley.
There's
carries something a little bit different.
No wheat though. Yeah.
That's what I would expect.
But yes, this is something that if you haven't already found it, find it quickly, as these are going to dry up very fast, as most of the bottles were sold out of the Bardstown distillery. So those who do have them were in Kentucky, and most of them are already gone. I was fortunate enough to get this as a gift. So
if you have it, go crack it, drink it. It's freaking awesome.
We'll say though, if you're not much of a drinker, but you are a collector and a reseller, if you get your hands on this bottle, as Zach said, they're gonna go quick if they're not already gone. So if you get your hands on one and you just want to hold on to it and turn it around on the sales, you're probably gonna make a pretty penny.
Or talk to us.
Oh yeah.
I'm down for a bottle.
Absolutely.
I'm okay with second price on that.
I'll put one on my shelf.
Every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I don't really care if it's $150, regular, and I got to pay $300 to get it. It's just so good.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
What would you pay for a bottle?
Yeah, I think this is $400. I've had $400 bottles that aren't that good.
Yeah, I'd pay between $300 to $400 for something like that because I would enjoy every
moment. Yeah, if you haven't had good, this is good. This is definitely top. That falls in my top 10. Yeah. All the stuff I had, that's a top 10 drink. It's really good.
Top 5 getting reevaluated.
Yeah, might have to redo that.
I don't know about top 5, but top 10. Top 10. Top 5's a real
category. For me, it definitely
that's some of the best stuff. Yeah, that's really great.
All right. Well, there you have it. It is the Bardstown Bourbon Lore collaboration series bottle with a score of an 87. We hope you enjoyed this, and whatever you're drinking, we hope you enjoy as well. Cheers, everybody.